Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome. My name is Sarah Rogers. I'm the COO at PHNX Development. I'd like to start by thanking you for being here today. Whether you're exploring options for rebuilding, supporting someone who is, or you're just looking to learn more, you're definitely in the right place. Rebuilding after a wildfire, it's not just a construction project. It's very personal and it's very emotional, and it can be very overwhelming. And that's why we created PHNX. We offer a trauma-informed, people-first path, and it's rooted in safety, clarity, and long-term resilience. A quick note on today's format, you please keep your microphones off so we don't have to worry about background noise. Get comfortable, listen in. If you have a question at any time, go ahead and drop it in the chat. I will weave it in as we go, or we will make sure to address it at the end, and we will give a response to everyone and every question asked. We're joined today by a very special guest, Space Theory, who we partner with for our kitchens. We have Virginie Remy. She's the creative director, and she's going to be presenting, and Andrea as well. And she can answer some questions if you have questions about the kitchens. This is a really exciting partnership, and we're so excited to have them with us today. Well, here's a quick look at what we're going to cover today. We're going to start with some introductions. We'll dive into the building science behind non-combustible homes and what makes PHNX different. You'll get a look at our streamlined design build process. And then I'm going to hand it over to Space Theory and they can talk about their streamlined process. And that's what makes us such good partners together. We'll wrap up with a Q&A. Again, put your questions in the chat at any time. I like to pause right here and just talk about something that's really central to who we are, and that's our tagline, which is Forever Homes for Everyone. We do believe that safety, sustainability, thoughtful design should not be reserved for a select few. And after a disaster, many people are pushed into temporary solutions, told to rebuild with the same vulnerable materials that failed the first time, and we don't think that's good enough. When we say forever homes, we mean homes that are built to last structurally, environmentally, and emotionally. And when we say for everyone, we mean every family who has faced loss or risk deserves a better option. Fire resilient, low maintenance, energy efficient homes, that should not be a luxury. That should be the standard, in our opinion. And that's what drives us at PHNX. And that's the vision behind everything you're going to learn and see from us today. So before we dive in, I'm going to introduce our incredible team. This is not your typical construction crew. We're a multidisciplinary team of experts. We've come together under the shared mission to help fire survivors rebuild homes that are safe, sustainable, and deeply personal. At the helm is Lori Fisher. She's our founder and principal architect, and she'll be talking with you today. She is an award-winning architect with experience in both commercial and residential design. She's a true innovator in fire-resistant construction, and she's been doing this for 30 years, and she's been a licensed architect since 2006. She's also trained in trauma-informed care, and that deeply shapes who we are and our approach. And she's the reason this company exists. And on the next slide, I'll let her tell you a little bit more about that. Again, I'm Sarah Rogers. My role is really focused on listening, supporting, making sure nothing falls through the cracks. I work as the COO and in strategic communications. We have Kendra Kettlehut. She's our senior designer. She's on the call today, and she'll talk to you a little bit about our design process. She has 20 years of experience working for major architecture firms, and she has ran her own successful residential practice. She's very smart and thoughtful and just a wonderful addition to our team. We also have Adam Gill. He will be on the call later. He is our certified permitting coordinator. He has a decade of experience certifying building plans, and he's a reviewer, and he has worked with our homes and submitted our homes, and he proactively builds relationships with officials in the fire zone areas and stays up to date on the latest with that. Andre Noel is our man on the ground. We call him the miracle worker because he knows just about how to solve about any problem. He has 25 years of construction experience in the US and Canada, and there really isn't much he has not seen on a job site. He's highly skilled in not only finished work, but a spectrum of trades. And he's just an also wonderful team member, and we love working with them. And we have Lulu Simpson, our client care director. She's our dedicated point of contact from start to finish. She checks on you periodically through the project. She's the person you can reach out to anytime with any questions until the day you move in your house. So even as the Phoenix team evolves, who you work with as you progress phase to phase, Lulu is our team member that will always be your touchstone and always be someone you can reach out to. With that, I'm going to turn it over to our founder and principal architect, Lori Fisher. And on the next slide, she's going to share a little bit more about her story.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We like to have, we hope this is going to be interesting for you, and we're going to try not to overwhelm you with too much stuff, but let's just get started. So thanks again. And yes, I've been an architect for over 25 years, and I've been working with insulating concrete forms, ICF, since 2011. And my work with fire survivors began in 2018 after the Tubbs fire in Santa Rosa. And what I saw was devastating. And it wasn't just the damage, but the slow, painful process that followed. And, because of my training in trauma-informed care, I recognized those patterns immediately and realized that we needed a better way. And that's how PHNX was born. It was born out of a commitment to resilience, healing, and radically improving how we rebuild. So next slide. And so what is it that we actually do? We are the only home builder in the United States building completely wood-free type 1A non-combustible homes per code. And you may have heard others say that they're doing the same, but the truth is no one else is doing what we're doing. Non-combustible isn't a buzzword. It has a very specific meaning in the building code. And so without the testing, engineering, and expertise to back it up, the claim doesn't hold. What we do is proven by code and by experience, and that's really truly what sets PHNX apart. And so here's just a little explainer about the code, an aspect of the building code that's really important. So the building code defines 5 different construction types from the most combustible to the least. Type 5, wood framing, is the most combustible. It's over there on the right, and it's what nearly all homes are built with. At the other end are types 1 and 2, and those are the only non-combustible classifications. Type 1 is the most fire resistive, and that's where we are. That's what PHNX builds. So before PHNX, type 1A was only used in high rises, hospitals, stadiums, things like that. Now, for the first time, single family homes can be built to those same levels of safety. So your home can be built to the same standards as a hospital. Traditional homes are combustible, PHNX homes are not. And so there's this myth that non-combustible homes cost 30-ish% more. It's that magic number I've heard so many times. And it used to be true, but it's not anymore. One of the biggest obstacles was the roof. And, that's really the most challenging is, in fact, when I'm speaking with firefighters, fire professionals, one of their first questions is, well, like, what'd you do with the roof sheathing? How'd you deal with that? So the plywood sheathing is combustible, obviously, and there really aren't any feasible non-combustible alternatives for sheathing. It provides lateral resistance. So we engineered a solution, and it is our patent pending PHNX long span roof and floor assembly, and you can see it in that little animation there. And so with this, we've eliminated sheathing from the equation altogether. We can span farther, and our long span system removes the need for interior bearing walls. So there's no plywood, there's nothing to burn. We also have fewer parts, it's faster builds, And because we start with materials that don't burn already, we don't have to waste money or time trying to make wood act like it's not wood. Wood's going to be wood. Phoenix is non-combustible by design. And Phoenix isn't just safer, it's dramatically faster. Our long span roof alone cuts weeks off of the schedule. Our homes can save you 6 months or more compared to traditional builds. Instead of weeks of sheathing, shingles, vents, insulation, etc., we install our roof system in days. Our spans allow trades to work faster and cleaner. Stucco is a two-step acrylic system done in weeks, not months. And inside, we use pre-engineered systems and a guided design process to keep everything efficient and stress-free. And so that's how you move into a Phoenix home in 8 to 12 months, while your neighbors might be still waiting on drywall. And here's the thing about building code too, that a lot of people don't know. The building code is not written to save buildings. The building code does not care about your building. The building code exists to save lives. And so when we say a 2-hour wall in a wood house means just enough time to get out, but it doesn't mean anything about preserving your home. And in the code, even type 1A is about life safety, not wildfires. So at Phoenix, we go further. So our walls are 4-hour rated. Type 1A only requires 3. We don't have any roof vents at all, so we don't even have to worry about the non-ember intrusive mesh and all that stuff. Our windows are non-combustible from the exterior, aluminum clad windows from Sierra Pacific. And Phoenix homes are 100% wood free with a sealed R30 plus envelope, and we generate about 80% less construction waste. And every home is net zero energy. It's all electric net zero. So we don't just meet the code. We're not just here just to do the minimum, right? We exceed the code. We beat it on many different levels. Another great aspect about Phoenix is that our homes are low to no maintenance. So there's no organic material in the structure. So you don't have any termites, no rot, no mold, no warped framing. A burst pipe in a wood framed house can mean structural damage. In a Phoenix home, it just means replacing finishes. And since our interior walls are lightweight metal studs that are not load bearing, they're not structural, you can reconfigure the space later without structural changes. So there's fewer headaches, lower upkeep, and really true peace of mind. So next slide. So as I mentioned, every Phoenix home is net zero energy. It's all electric, so there's no gas bill. And basically little to no electric bill. It just depends on the fees that they're going to charge. But we estimate up to $4,000 a year in savings for an average home. The solar panels generate the power, the batteries store it, and your home runs on what you produce. Our ultra efficient envelope makes it much easier to achieve a net zero home than with a traditional build. And the battery system gives you backup power during outages. That was a really big, important ask from the Santa Rosa fire survivors that I was working with, because we've got these rolling blackouts now all the time. And you won't even know the difference because your house is, running off of batteries or the solar system, depending on what time of day it is. So over 30 years, that can be as much as $90,000 in savings. And so net zero means real resilience and money back in your pocket. And then, we always talk about all these great, efficiencies and innovations and stuff, but it wouldn't mean a thing if our houses didn't look gorgeous, right? And weren't a pleasure to live in. So it's not just about resilience, it's about living beautifully. And Kendra and I designed from scratch around your life, your values, your vision. And custom doesn't mean picking from a menu. It means creating something that's uniquely yours. And because we build with concrete and steel, we can design larger, lighter, taller spaces. Think 10-foot ceilings, vaulted ceilings, tall volumes, oversized windows, and light-filled rooms. And so I think, am I going to hand it off to Kendra?
Yes, yes. Thanks,
Yep.
Lori.
Okay.
I
Here's
get
to
to take over.
Kendra, our senior designer.
Thanks, guys. So one thing we hear all the time from homeowners, especially fire survivors, is how overwhelming the typical custom design process can be. Endless decisions, vague pricing, constant change orders. It's like being asked to make 1,000 high-stakes choices with no clear path forward. And for someone who's already experienced trauma, that can feel impossible. That's why we created a trauma-informed design process, one that's structured, calm, and clear. We break everything into manageable, well-paced phases. You'll never be asked to make a dozen decisions at once. We'll guide you through each step in the right order with visuals, support, clear context, so you always know where you're at and what's coming next. And here's the most important part. This isn't a templated plan or pre-designed box. We offer a full-service architectural experience. Every PHNX home is 100% tailored to you. And here's the most important part. We start with your needs, how you live, how you gather, how you rest, and build up from there. Whether you want an open entertainer's layout, a sanctuary for solitude, or multi-generational flexibility, we design around your life. So you're not getting someone else's floor plan with your name on it. You're getting your home designed thoughtfully and built to last. So at PHNX, custom means personal. We tailor it exactly to you. And our job is to make that process not just possible, but peaceful and even enjoyable and just a super fun process all around. So at PHNX, we don't just build smarter homes, we've created a smarter process from start to finish. This is a quick look at our streamlined design build timeline, like a nice little graphic for you. And it's built around one core idea, which is clarity at every step. So we start with phase 1, which is your home design. This kicks off with a focused 2-hour session where we get aligned on your vision, on your goals, and most importantly, your budget, because your budget guides the design from day one. We don't design first and then do the cost later. We make sure you're always in the loop and always in control. This phase takes about 6 to 8 weeks and includes not just architectural layout, but real conversations with you about how you live, how you move through your space, what your needs are, and how you want your home to feel. Next is our phase 2, where we build the plans. This is where we prep the construction documents and we lock in key systems like plumbing, appliances, kitchen design. You'll start to see your vision take shape and down to like every little detail that matters the most in your project. In parallel, we begin interior design with our vision builder system. This is a guided collaborative process that streamlines decision-making, even if you're feeling overwhelmed or burned out by past experiences. We will help you select finishes, materials, lighting, all of that within a clear framework that all coordinates together. At the same time, we'll be submitting for permitting, which typically takes 1 to 3 months. Depending on the jurisdiction, it can kind of vary a little bit. All of this moves in sync, so all parallel to keep momentum going and avoid any delays moving forward. The final step, phase 3, we build. Thanks to all the work we've done up front and correspondingly timed, we will be locking down the specs, the streamlined selections. The build phase moves faster and smoother than traditional construction, as we've said. Most of the homes are completed in 8 to 12 months, which is amazing. No last minute scrambling, no endless change orders, no mid-project guesswork, just a clear supported path from idea to keys in hand. So that's a nice kind of snapshot of our process. But before we continue, I would like you to meet someone who will be a true lifeline during your project. Our client care director, Lulu Simpson. While different team members will step in at different phases, Lulu was always by your side, making sure you feel supported from our very first conversation all the way through move-in. So I'll introduce Lulu.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lulu, and I serve as Phoenix Client Care Director. I'm truly excited to connect with you today and grateful to be part of this amazing team walking alongside you. My role is all about supporting you through this process, keeping communication clear, listening to concerns, and making sure you feel heard, cared for, and supported along the way. So if you ever need a listening ear, feel free to reach out. That's what I'm here for.
Lulu is amazing. Thank you, Lulu, for your introduction. That
That's
kind
your
of like
answer.
consistent support is truly at the heart of what we do at Phoenix. So I will hand it back to Lori, who will share another major way that we are changing the whole rebuilding experience, which is insurance, everybody's favorite topic.
Thanks. And I do, and Lulu has been a wonderful addition to our team. And we just brought her on board about a month and a half ago. So if you haven't met her yet, don't worry, you will. We are, slowly gearing up to be able to reach out to everyone, and she will be your touchstone moving forward. So thank you, Lulu.
You're welcome. Thank you, Lori.
Okay. Yeah, and so honestly, this is the part of the presentation that I think is the most incredible. So another first for Phoenix is that we are the first and only home builder in the United States ever designing and building homes that are pre-qualified for insurance through Mercury Insurance. And I don't really think I need to get into why that's a big deal. I'm sure that everybody here understands that. Our homes are basically just so resilient, and I think there were a number of reasons why Mercury decided, you know what, Phoenix is different and we can do this. But they did. So we announced our alliance last November, and they've already written policies for a couple of our people, and the premiums are a fraction of what they expected. Phoenix One are the folks that our first Phoenix home, they are actually paying less in insurance now than they were before they lost their home in the tick fire in Santa Clarita. That's how incredible. So not only do you get insurance, not only do you get a comprehensive policy, but you also get a policy that is going to be lower than you were even paying before you lost your home. Highly likely. So that alone is going to mean thousands of dollars back in your pocket each year, and obviously plus the peace of mind of solid coverage. And so here's a real world example, our latest Phoenix home, just outside of Yosemite National Park. It's 2,500 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths. It was on time, it was on budget, and it took about a year. And this was in a remote mountain region, okay? I cannot tell you, Andre Noel and I can really attest to this. It was a very challenging project. And you'll see that in these next couple of slides, before we get into some of the timeline photos, in this slide in particular, you've got the one on the left, the image on the left is the rendering, and the one on the right is the reality. And this is really important because part of our process is helping you see your home before we ever build it. Okay, and so when we're in this initial design phase, we're giving you 3D. We're like walking you through your home. You can see the bathrooms. You can see the master closet, the primary closet. You can see your bedrooms, the kitchen, everything. And as you'll see, these renderings really are almost, sometimes it's even hard to tell the difference between the rendering and the reality. So, that clarity makes decisions easier, it lowers stress, and it builds confidence. It enables you to make better decisions. And then we had another wonderful surprise. Um, I always tell clients, look, I know it's tough, you might be spending more money than you wanted to on this build, but you're going to get it back. You're going to get it back. It's just going to take a year or two to get it back. Well, guess what? It doesn't take a year or two anymore, at least not with this project. So the Lodatos actually went and got an appraisal right away. And they were astounded. It was not only more than what they spent on the home and the property combined, it was substantially more than they expected. And it was all of these things combined. So it's not just insurance companies that recognize the value of a Phoenix home. It's also property appraisers. If you come in and you don't have to pay a lot for insurance, and you don't have to worry about mold and mildew and maintenance, and then of course it's non-combustible and you don't have any energy bills, it's like, your house is going to be more valuable than your neighbors. So we can get started in the timeline here. So there we go. So here's another, on the left, a rendering. On the right is the finished home. So that's a shot of the interior. And so here we go. So we broke ground in late April 2024, and we had the lower level formed by late May. By summer, if we can go to the next one. Oh yeah, so here we go. We're in June. So there's and then let's see if we want to keep going. So then by, July and August, by August, we had the floor framed out. And again, that was a day. So to frame the entire floor took us a day. And then we pour the slab on top of that. And then in October, we've got the upper level walls coming up. And then in November, this was a really big day. We framed the roof in one day. And then you can see, Sarah, that's not a video, is it? That's just a still. Yeah, right. So, but you can see those are our all-weather insulated roof panels going in, installing. So that happened in a day, right? So, we can frame the roof in a day, we can roof it in a day. And when those panels are installed, that's the sheathing, the insulation, and the roofing all done in one shot. And there's a shot of the interior. So this is when we're weather tight. And so you can see all the room that we've got up in the ceiling. It's incredible. All of the trades have all the room they need to do what they need to do. So this was, December. So this was only 7 months after we literally started breaking ground. February, we're starting to really finish out the exterior. And then March, we're getting the site dialed in and everything nice and cleaned up. The stucco's done. We got our solar panels on in May. And was this do we have a date on this one? Oh, this is the video.
I think I can. Do I normally fast forward it? I couldn't remember.
I think so. We don't
Okay.
want to make anybody too dizzy though.
Yeah.
And so, this is what we were talking about with, so this entire space, I mean, that's 40 feet from the great room wall to the kitchen wall. There's no load-bearing structure in that 40-foot space. And that's our view rail stair and railing system. And you can see the big windows. We have absolutely no problem doing big windows. We can do spans bigger than that. Let's see, I think we're going to go outside here. So yeah, this is right outside of Yosemite National Park on Pine Mountain Lake. It's so beautiful. And, and it's just so cool when you're walking around in this house. It's so quiet. I mean, and like within the house, and it's comfortable, it's solid. I mean, you really, really feel safe and secure. And, you know, you're just not going to have to worry. And there we go back to one of the guest rooms there. There, so I think nice shot of the trees once again. And
Okay.
then I think, so we'll answer questions, you know, just as you think of questions, just throw them in the chat. And then I'm going to hand it back to Sarah, and she can introduce our special guests today.
Yes, welcome Space Theory. We're so excited to have you. Thank you for being here, and I'll just let you kick it off.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us. I mean, it's been very, very interesting to know that a company like yours exists, like going through these slides with you. So thank you. Yeah, thank you for sharing this with us, and thank you for having us. So I'm going to present who Space Theory is, and just give you a little tour of what our system is and why we're a system, what's the advantages of a system, and how far we can go to make, you know, the perfect kitchen, a kitchen that works for your needs. Because kitchen is the, you know, the nicest place, the most important place nowadays in a house. This is where things happen, where kids have school, are doing their homework, where you cook, where you have your friends, you entertain, your work, and yeah, so it's very, very important, and it's also a room that, you know, brings a lot of value to your house. And very nice kitchen is important for the value of your house. And yeah, so Space Theory is what we call the sister company of Henrybuilt. I don't know if you're familiar with Henrybuilt. Henrybuilt is a company that is born in 2001. It's an American-based company. Everything is built in Seattle, where our factory is, and it's been focusing mainly on kitchen system, but Henrybuilt is also doing a whole house system, from wardrobes to bathroom vanities to entry system. And Space Theory is the sister company. It's a most streamlined version of Henrybuilt. It's really focused on kitchen. It's what we call the system, and by system we mean that we're spending a lot of energy to design the best units, the best pieces of your kitchen. We don't think that we need to reinvent the wheel each time you're doing a kitchen. We know exactly what the best sink unit look like, the ideal depth of a drawer, the perfect trash systems, and that's thanks to our more than 20 years of experience of designing for many, many people and making sure that the kitchen is performant. That's it's a place where you can, if you cook, you can go from one place to another, grab the right, you know, pots and pans, the right utensil, turn around, get your serving, reach out to what your dog needs and your kids then. So, you know, really working for designing the best system, the best kitchen for your needs. And so that's why we put a lot of energy in our research and development, and have a catalog of units that have been designed to be the best, and it's still a work in process. We're adding on and on. We have hundreds of pieces in that catalog, and our designers will play and use these pieces of the puzzle, these pieces of the catalogs, to create a kitchen that works for you. It's really like a Lego game, you know, where you have all those little units that our designer will put together, but not just randomly. They will be put together based on your design brief, on the conversation we will have together, which will you know, talk about your needs, about your dreams, your wishes, what you know worked in your previous house, what didn't work in your previous house. And also those pieces are not like Lego pieces, like set in sizes. They are tailor fit to your architecture. So we don't have some system have 18 inches, 21 inches. So everything is really set in width and you end up with big scribes. Sometimes it doesn't fit an awkward place in or an awkward corner in your architecture. Here we can build to the 1/4 inch, which is very important to tailor fit. It's like a suit, you know, or a dress that is almost perfect, but then the tailor will really make it fit to your body. And so that's why we are offer that whole solution. We offer a system that's custom to your needs, and we could provide, of course, the cabinets. We can also provide accessories, the pools, the countertops, the backsplash, and the sink. So we could provide everything you need to build that kitchen, except for the appliances. But again, our designer will, that's part of our process, to also share with you what we know works best in terms of appliances, which one fits in your kitchen and will fit your need. And we can go to the next slide, where I can talk about, you know, I've been talking just before about the base units and how we've been doing that, those perfect units. But that goes even further, because we also spend a lot of time looking at what's inside the drawers, how we can be at the same time very organized, but also very flexible. So you can see on that image all of our dividers. And these part of our drawers can also be brought into what we call the open case, which is that image on the right. That works a little bit like a peg, you know, what you could have or your parents could have in their garage, you know, the peg system, the tools where you can hang your screwdrivers and, you know, your DIY tools. Here we also have that system of pegs with accessories. Like on that image, you can see the wine shelves and then that little box that can maybe have your wine glasses and your, you know, your cheese and cheese cutters. And then the wine is ready. Tomorrow you'll want to use this box for your tea. You can take that box, bring into your drawers, and pull out that other box for your breakfast in the morning. And so that system, and that's called our open case wall system, is what makes that kitchen super flexible, that system very flexible, and that will adjust to your needs and to your life. And we will see more of those accessories on the next slides. Oh, well, that will be in the next one too, but let's talk about this one. This is an overall of the kitchen that has been built in our showroom. You can see how it's built around those walls, thanks to that, the 1/4 inch custom width that I was just talking about. We have here a mix of HPL, which is high pressure laminate. We have different kind of veneers. We'll work mainly with natural woods, with our oak and walnut, and those are the base to have different stains. We've been playing with blue and green colors. We have the platinum finish on the left. And the HPL come in many, many colors as well. And here's again the drawer system, where you can see those multiples of 5 drawer accessories that can be moved around, moved from the drawers to the open case backsplash, the utensil bar. Everything is made to be a position as you need them. And talking about now the process too, which is one of the common points we have with PHNX, is that we have a very streamlined approach. We have, you know, we're going through the different stages of the process in a very structured way, where we'll be first, of course, just like PHNX has, have a very good kickoff meeting where we will talk about your needs, your wishes. We'll look at your plans. We will go over the options. You know, do you need seating area? Do you like to have breakfast? Do you cook? You cook less? You have kids? Do you have a pantry? Do you live like next to the grocery store and you don't need a pantry? All of those questions will help us to design the best layout for you. Then we'll talk about materials on the second stage, about your appliances, again with many advices. Then we'll go through the pools, we'll have measurements confirmation, and in about 4 phases, we'll be able to finalize and get the kitchen design that will very close, that will meet your needs in terms of aesthetic and in terms of performance. And we do that. There's a point here about a design engine, because we do have a proprietary software that we've been putting together to make sure that everything is highly accurate, that we can provide drawings very quickly and show you stage by stage how we move towards the process. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how we can, really make sure that with that very streamlined system of process, system of kitchen, everything is made around the system, which is a very big word that you hear probably pretty often these days, but it's really having that structure that can help us to get there. And here's like the images that, with many other finishes that you'll find in our books that I think you will all get.
We have someone here that's familiar with working with Henrybuilt, and they need to understand a little bit better about your Space Theory's relationship to Henrybuilt. Are they a subsidiary or an offshoot?
No, there's just a second line. We used to be two different companies, and very, very recently we, let's say, merge, so that, we have two different teams that basically were doing the same thing. We're also upgrading and sharing more and more components with Henrybuilt. So we decided to merge in and have everything under the Henrybuilt roof, under the Henrybuilt company, with two lines. The streamlined Space Theory line that's mainly focused on kitchen, even though we have a vanities and entry, but like on the side. And then Henrybuilt that's highly crafted, many more pieces of the catalog, and of course doing the whole house, as I was saying before, wardrobes. But everything is built in the same factory with the same people. The design team is like now part of a very big studio where everyone can design both lines.
Virginie, what would you say is the biggest difference between Space Theory and like your typical local custom cabinet builder?
Well, the system approach, of course, that I've been just talking about, and the main advantage is that, again, we will spend less time doing new shop drawings. We know what works. We know what the 3-drawer unit, how it works, what's the best. And then we can really focus on the design with our clients. And also, if they have a chance to visit our showrooms, or if they're looking at these pictures, they know exactly what they're gonna get. We know that, the feel, the touch, the materials, you will get the exact same thing in your home. It's not like a random, it's not a new thing over and over and over. It's always the same product.
Got it. And as far as, seeing a showroom, your showroom in Los Angeles is having open studio on the 26th, Friday the 26th of September. And so I think if maybe Andrea could post a link to the open studio event, maybe. I know it's in conjunction with LA Design Week. We're going to have some Phoenix people there. I mean, I don't think we'll be there all afternoon, but if anyone is interested in checking out Space Theory and Henrybuilt, their studio is in the Arts District downtown, and it's super cool, and it would be really fun. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, I'll add that I had an opportunity to go to the showroom, and it will blow your mind. There's just like, when you walk through the kitchen models, it's like they're doing things that you never thought you knew you needed. It's like, oh, I can open this refrigerator, and then right here is this thing that, oh my gosh, why did I never think that that's the way this should work? It's just so functional in a way that just very much blew my mind. So if you can get there and walk through and see the way it's done, it's very impressive to see.
Thank you. I just posted a link to the event to the chat so everyone can see it. It's There's, no limit. You can RSVP, but if you don't want to RSVP, you can just pop in. And as Lori mentioned, it's Friday, September 26, 11 to 4 p.m. as part of the LA Design Weekend. So you'll be able to explore additional showrooms near us. But if you want to stop by any other time, not a problem. Just, shoot us a message.
Thank you. Thanks, Andrea. With that basically concludes our presentation. We are going to have another webinar next month. We're going to start doing this monthly. And so we will announce what that webinar topic will be in about a week. But here's a QR code if you'd like to go to our events page. If you're signed up on our mailing list, you'll definitely get some information on that when it comes out. We're here when you're ready. You can email me directly at any time. We're here to answer questions, whether you build with us or not. We're really here to support people through this process. So we're always happy to answer questions. I'm happy to be on a call with you, talk to you more if you would like more information. We do record all of these webinars and they are on our YouTube channel. So you're welcome to go to youtube.com/PHNX Home. We typically, every webinar, feature one of our vendors, as we just featured Space Theory Kitchen. So you can learn about all the different products that we put in our houses and hear it straight from their mouth, talk about it. And so there's a lot of content there if you're looking to dive in and learn more. And we also at our website have more information just about non-combustible homes and how we do it.